Hi there. So today I'll just brief you on the presentation for the paper. So starting with the objective, and we're just trying to assess the possibility or exploring the possibility of any relationships or correlations between the following: the intention to engage on Facebook and 3 different independent constructs, which are the crowd's engagement behavior, and the cognitive and affective trust components, order-related risk, by using a 5-point anchored scale as seen below. All right. Now over here, probably it is a good idea, or maybe next. So we studied, over here you just say, we studied the intention to engage through endorsement and recommendation. So with endorsement, as per the literature, it includes like, comment, and follow. And I think the very important paper was a paper for, you don't have it here. Yeah, there's a very, what was her name? I think she's an Indian scholar. I forgot the name. You could add it if you want. Wait a minute, you have it in your thesis somewhere. Okay. What is your thesis? This one? You have it in your thesis. Her name starts with an A. Let's take a look here. Here, this one. Is it? I think this is the one. I think so. 2019. So you could just act all like intellectual and say that 2019. You can just say that this is Ananda 2019. They studied, or based on their very rich literature review, they worked on endorsement and recommendation, and this is how they've done it: like, comment, and follow, and share. This is what they've done. Share. We all added, created stories, but we didn't study that. I just noticed that we didn't actually study that to create a story. But in any case, over here you can just you created this, right? So you know better. So you can just talk about it. This is a related literature. Most of the literature we have ranges from it's almost 5 years old. Some of the literature, because of its very importance and relevance, is about 10 years old, and most here is about now we are 2020. If you could pull out some literature here, deep, and add it, that is a bit more recent. You see, this is the kind of things that you kind of talk about in conferences. You don't just mention names unless they are very influential in the area. What you just say, you say that what you've done, most of your literature is 5 years back or 10 years back. Some of the literature is a little bit dated, like 20 or 15 years back, because of its significance and all that. But definitely over here, if you could add some recent literature, so that would be nice. So let me write a note for you. Order risk, recent literature, please. Okay, and then over here you can just say this is the list of factors that we are studying. As you can see, we have 15 different factors in total. These factors over here, this is the dependent variable, the construct. Now this is the crowd behavior, right? Let's put them in a different, this is the crowd behavior. And guess what? Why don't we do it this way? Yeah. Oh no, 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 no. I was gonna just insert here. Yep. I'm gonna insert this, you know, on the other side. This is the kind of little fine details. Good, do you see that? So now I can, these are effective trust, and put it in a bit darker color, yeah. Maybe we don't have to, in fact, bold it. Only bold the dependent. And over here, these are lovely. Okay, so now how do you present this? You basically say that over here is the list of 15 different variables, factors, sorry, that points back to our measure constructs. So for the dependent variable construct, which is the engagement behavior, so here how about I just help you out and put that we're putting out here construct, so individual engagement behavior, then we have the crowd engagement behavior. We don't have dependent variables and all that. We're not doing linear regression, so. And where is order risk? I thought something is missing here. Trust components, Diep. I thought something is missing here, Diep. Man. No wonder. Let's see. Order risk. Oh man. I thought they are not 15. I put here 19, something like that. Where did I put it? Here I put 19. How did they end up being 15? I thought that maybe I made a mistake. Okay. Okay. 9, 10, 11, 12. And that would be you see? I was just gonna make a video here to show you how to present, but we ended up doing some work. Okay. So maybe since these are risk, let's put them in red color, huh? So here, delivery time is risk, post, or delayed delivery. all these are website related, they're outside Facebook, so we considered outside Facebook kind of factors and how they affecting 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Please be consistent, Deb, please. Okay, and here we have the constructs, we have them here. This is so small, of course, so constructs we have here. Order, risk, factors. In fact, if I can put here, I put about the sample size somewhere over here, right? Okay, here I'm going to put sample size. Sample size. Minimum acceptable sample size is 190. We have 225. Okay, this is the minimum. So we need to collect more data to get. If anybody asks you like, why do you have very low correlations, you just can tell them based on this. As you can see, the minimum acceptable sample size here counted to be 190. We're almost on the edge of the minimum, so we probably need to double the data collection in order to get more significant correlations. Yeah, this is really nice what you got here, so I'm going to keep it here. If you want to talk a little bit, if you have time to talk about demographics, if you don't, just let go. Like, keep it, yeah, keep it, but don't waste your time talking about it. And let me make this bigger. And guess what I want to do here? I want the audience to relate to what you're doing here. This is a crowd behavior, right? So it is in blue, yeah? And this, I think risk were before, right? So we have risk over here, and risk is in red, right? So this is order risk, and order risk is in this. Trust components are in 2, right? How about I just put the trust components in green, because honestly we're having so many colors, right? So let's keep it nice and simple here in green. Maybe a bit of a darker green would be more visible. Yeah, good. So now you're having 19 different factors. We're on the edge. This is why we don't have that high correlation maybe, but others might tell you sometimes you get very high correlations with only 7 with a smaller sample size. Well, okay, just tell them yes. If anybody like talks to you like this, I want to put you on the corner, like wanna like kind of like just flip back by saying, so how do you recommend we approach this problem? Yeah, since they are telling you there's a problem, how do they recommend solving this problem? Collecting more data. He's going to tell you collect more data. Yeah, this is what I just said. We are just collecting, more data. So always try to be polite and just tell them, so how do you recommend that we go about fixing this problem, and end of story. It's easy to point out problems. It's more difficult to help solve them, and this is why we go to conferences to ask people, what do you think? Anything that we missed out on? Yeah. So this is really nice. Yeah. I feel like this is here is too much. So here are the constructs. Okay. Next, we just talk about the Spearman rank. Yeah. We use the Spearman rank. Yeah. And what is it? And from 0.2 to 0.3 it's weak, so we are about here. We are still about here. We're not even in the moderate, neither in the strong. Hopefully if we collect more data we can get to the strong here. And then say don't explain this. Just say this is the mathematics behind it. We use Python. You just say the generals, alright? So even when you are talking about this, just very quickly talk about it and then say, unfortunately, as you will see, because of our very small sample size still, and we're still collecting data, we are in this band, in the weak band. We're hoping that we are going to get stronger results. And then this is the math behind it, and mention that you use Python. SciPy, I think we used. Did we? We used SciPy, right? SciPy, yeah, stats. Yeah, the SciPy stats. So we use the SciPy stats library. So show that you know that Python, and you've done it with Python, even though it could be done in Excel. But well, it's too much work with Excel. Easier with Python. Now over here, talk about Anand again. Do I need to talk about it again? Maybe you don't have to talk about Anand here, but actually maybe you should talk about Anand. And when you talk about it, you just say, over here, we used Anand, and we didn't use stories here. We've measured the stories on the crowd in the wrong place. And then over here, talk about how we summed and not averaged. Read this, just in case somebody pops up and tells you, why didn't you average? We usually average when we want to compare. We're not comparing here. So also the context is to understand the total value of all these factors on weighing on this constructs. Yeah, so this is why we are summing. So this is a very important step also. And you also mentioned that we did the same for other major constructs. So going back here, as you can see, I also added here what we've done. We added all the constructs here for the crowd engagement. Yeah, and then these are for example here, let me add some animation for you, so that when you, for example here, when you are presenting, you can present that we can see that most of the crowd engagement factors had loaded on engagement, or correlates to engagement into the endorsement behavior of the intention to engage significantly, except for negative comments. And then we also detected a significant correlation between the positive comments and the intention to engage construct. This is the summation. This intention to engage construct is the summation of all these factors. This crowd engagement construct is the summation of all these factors. So also this construct in general is also correlated to the endorsement. Alright, over here, same situation. Maybe it does make sense that I make it easier for you by adding here animation. Yes, so that you can so over here, exploring order risk detected significant correlation between all the factors except the return policy and the intention to engage. Also, likewise, the same factors loaded on the or correlated to the endorsement behavior. However, when it comes to the share or recommendation intention to engage, we have the return and the information privacy correlated with the recommendation intention to recommend. Same applies here, you see. And then over here, let me add also, what happened? another animation. Okay. Good. Same thing. I'm not gonna keep on, you know. And I think I have another slide here because I didn't want it to be so crowded. So here's another slide instead. And over here it doesn't require, I think, any animation. It's just fine. You can just say that see crowd engagement and trust components correlate with the intention to engage component. However, the risk factors does not correlate to the intention to engage. It only correlates to the recommendation to share. And when it comes also to the underlying components of a trust, like affective trust and cognitive trust, we also detected that affective trust in fact correlates to the endorsement and the intention to engage directly. However, cognitive trust correlates with the share or recommendation behavior. Yeah. The trust components also, it's very interesting that trust components correlated to the intention to engage, to endorse, and to share. So trust components in general, the summation of all that seems like here intention to engage and endorse through affective trust and cognitive trust to share. That's quite interesting to mention, yeah? And here it's quite interesting to mention that it's not correlated to the intention to engage, rather to share. So seems like sharing has nothing to do with the human factor. It's non-human factor related, because it's not related to affective trust really. It's more to cognitive trust and to risk factors. So over here is the results, the conclusion. I think I kind of like put almost all the most interesting points. Just read it and try to sum it up. And here's some practical implications. If you want to add anything comes to your mind, yeah, why not? Please do. I just did compile this very quickly right now. In fact, my son is not feeling well. Even my husband didn't go to work today, and I really need to care for him. Let's hope he gets better tomorrow and they don't call me in the nursery. So I'm really thankful that you are doing this for me, Diep, and you are there to present, especially if I have to leave tomorrow and to care for my son and pick him up early. Hopefully he's gonna feel better, but I'm not sure yet. So over here, this is it. I think it's easy peasy. I believe your presentation slides are all awesome. You have 15 minutes and it is in June 2021. If you want to add the date tomorrow, which is June 29th, yeah, you can do that as well. Okay, and I believe it's a very nice slides, really very colorful, very colorful, and good luck. It's not really difficult. It ended up being quite interesting. In fact, when I put things together here and looked at the results, I believe the results are quite interesting, Diep. It's just that I need to collect more data so that we can get higher correlations, but the significance is way much better than what you've got with the smaller sample. Do you see here? This is the indicator, and look, we have some 2 and some 3 more than once, but 1 is okay also. It's not like it's bad, you know. It's really nice. I believe just a bit more time collecting more data, which is not a bad thing. So yeah, please be confident about it. Anybody tells you this is weak correlation, tell them, yeah, it's still, we are in the data collection process. We're not done yet. It takes time to collect data, and hopefully we are not giving up, and we want to even try what is called structural equation modeling. Yeah, so for future research, we'd like to explore structural equation modeling. So here, future okay, let me put this for you just in case you have time to mention it. You know why? I have a feeling somebody might be not focusing too much on what you're saying, and all of a sudden they come up with a question about this here. Number of factors, minimum acceptable samples at 19 times. I forgot if it's a 20 or 10. Yeah, 20. I forgot. Acceptable. I forgot. Actually, we can qualify because according to some for structure equation modeling, we qualify because minimum 200 in some cases. But I would say I would like to have a factor of 15 there, just to be safe, you know. So let's hope that we tell them that we are hoping to do 283 or about 300 cases. So this is so future work is first of all collect more data so as the anticipated, I'm going to put this here for you, the anticipated sample size is 283 or 300 cases, okay, or more. Yeah, okay, this is number one. Number two is utilize structure equation structure equation modeling, SEM, to for model, would we say model verification for structure equation modeling? There are many different kinds though. What else in the future? let's see what they ask you. From their questions, we can actually better guide it on adding more limitations, yeah? So please take notes if they tell you something that you thought. You can just tell them, oh yeah, this could be added to the limitations, and I will take it into consideration in future research. You can just get out of it this way. All right, Dave, thank you so much. I think good luck. This is a very good set of slides, I believe, right now. And you have very interesting also results. Best of luck. Take care of yourself. Let me know if I can help you with anything, all right? Goodbye.